Kick, 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 kick. Your turn. Big kicks. Big kicks. Big kicks. Where's your kicks? Where's your kicks? Oh, good boy.
To become the person and the parent we want to be, we need to know what our values are. Values are like points on the compass. North, south, east, west. They are the overall direction in which we're travelling, the point on the compass which is never reached. Values are unique to you and may change over time.
I like to think of values as the lighthouse which shines a beam through the stormy night to guide our little boat which has set out so bravely onto the roiling seas of life. Do you remember what mattered most to you, Deb, back when you were a young mum?
I wanted my babies to feel like I was always there for them, caring and responding to their needs. I wanted them to feel deeply loved and enjoyed by me. You might like to think about your values, what really matters to you, and what kind of parent you want to be, what kind of partner you want to be in this time of life. If your child was telling everyone at his or her 18th birthday the kind of parent you were in the middle of the night when he or she was a baby, what would you like your 18-year-old to say?
Our parenting goals are different to our parenting values, actually. Goals can be ticked off as they're achieved, like towns you pass through on a car trip. For example, many of us women have the goal of breastfeeding. But sometimes we can't reach this goal, even despite heroic efforts to do so, often through incredible pain and multiple consultations with health professionals, often through the frustrations of a baby who's fussing and fretting at the breast. When a woman finally decides she can't breastfeed, she finds herself fiercely grieving. And now, of course, I'd love to think that you give our Gestalt breastfeeding self-help program a try first, as it's developed from ultrasound studies and arises out of an entirely new biomechanical model of infant suck-in breastfeeding, and in our experience is very effective when everything else has failed. But when you decide you have to accept that breastfeeding is not workable for you and your baby, it's normal to grieve the gap between what you hoped for, what you planned for, and what turns out to be real. Dr. Russ Harris calls this a reality gap. And the truth is, life with our baby can be full of painful reality gaps. But even if we can't reach our goal, we can act in alignment with our values. If we can't breastfeed, we can still offer the bottle flexibly in response to the baby's cues or communications, enjoying physical closeness and interaction at the time of feeds. You might be interested in the video that's freely available on our website about paced bottle feeding. Or in another example, if our baby cries a great deal, we might find ourselves feeling rather shocked and distressed. Because we're hardwired to feel distressed when our baby's upset, and also because we perhaps simply hadn't imagined that it would be quite this incredibly hard. So when we find that our goal of a chilled, happy relationship with our baby isn't met, we can take steps anyway that align with our overarching values. And of course, I'd invite you to see a health professional who offers the Possum's 5-domain approach to cry-fuss problems and give that a go, since it typically does help babies cry a lot less. You might start using the Possum's 2 tools of the frequent flexible feeds once any underlying problems have been identified and sorted out, and rich sensory nourishment for the baby. But in taking values-aligned steps, even when your goal of a happy baby can't be met, you'd factor in self-care for your own exhaustion and distress, And you'd also continue to respond to your baby as best you can, even when you really have no idea what's going on and nothing seems to be effective, offering plenty of physical contact and practicing a very deep self-compassion.